49 degrees. It feels much better than it did last week. Very good. That's the right answer. 49 degrees. It feels good. Not going to warm up a whole lot today, but we are going to hopefully see some sunshine. High temperatures of 51. Your low tonight
Zach's out for
34. You're liking that way too much. Tomorrow, high of 51. We don't have to worry about rain the next couple days anyway. But Wednesday, only that, well, there's a 30% chance of showers on Wednesday. But the biggest chance so far looks like it's going to be on Saturday with 80% chance of those showers. And then Sunday, high of only 42. Check out that low, 29, 28. Brr, feels like Christmas.
All right, Lucas, you're a defense attorney. These would be some good people for you right here, especially during the holidays. This happened down Warrior, right down the road where Country Boy Eddie lives. On Friday, these people's home was busted into, and they got surveillance camera shows this fat woman going up knocking on the door, then this other guy coming by and pushing the door down, taking out, stole 2 televisions, something else. Well, Sunday, they're driving in the same neighborhood, the family is. They see this truck, that's the truck you can't see there. They run them into a ditch, and they've got it loaded down with somebody they just robbed. The female right there in the video goes up to the car and says, "Ain't you the fat woman that broke in my house? Why don't you get out now?"
Oh, boy.
I mean, but the old boy
So they got
was an embarrassment to all white people. Had his pants down, a fat guy now too, had his pants down below his waist and had underwear on.
Can't run like that, can you?
Well, he couldn't. I could outrun him anyway. That's the guy caught him. That was one of the guys they robbed.
Bama fan, huh?
Oh, they're all Bama fans, man. I don't know what the other people had on, but they held them till the police got there, and they had a couple relatives with them. They surrounded them. Everyone had a gun on them.
She even had a pink gun, didn't she?
Yeah, I mean, vigilante justice. That was the lead story on Daily Mail, which is highly unusual.
You know that old, I was just asking Lucas, that old rule, I guess, if you're going to shoot someone, make sure you do it in their house. If they're robbing you, don't let them out
And drag them back in the house.
Yeah, you know, is there any truth to that?
In law school, it was called the Castle Doctrine. You know, you come in, which is a fancy way of saying the same thing. You come into the house and you're kind of asking for it, but now it's been extended to, you know, the stand your ground law, and it's sort of unclear exactly what it is. I don't want to be nailed down there. Yeah.
All right, I know it's the holidays coming up. We'll do our last show of the year coming up a week from today, and take a couple of weeks off, watch Bama beat Ohio State and everything, hopefully everybody else win.
Third-string quarterback, we better win it. So.
Yeah, he's a big old boy too. The deal is, criminals don't take time off. So are you basically...
Neither do criminal defendants, who are different.
But even though you don't have court, do you still, somebody gets busted on a holiday?
Oh, yeah, and what we see this time of year is a lot of overtime with the state troopers and the local police and stuff. So anytime you have a greater number of police and law enforcement on the streets, it's just a matter of time before something crosses. You know, they have to kind of justify their existence in a lot of ways.
Now, are there a lot more, I'm assuming there's a lot more stealing going on, people getting into the cars, and so you're saying they're going to arrest a bunch more people?
Well, like I said, you know, you have a lot of cops working overtime, and they have to perform a certain amount. And, you know, it may be that where normally you wouldn't get that speeding ticket, you may now, because there's going to be more police presence. You know,
when does the courthouse, when do y'all shut down? Y'all open every day except maybe the 2 days, the Christmas and after and New Year's in the same way?
We don't have any court scheduled. There will be judges there, if I understand it right, except for maybe Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and possibly the day after, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then, of course, New Year's.
So what if somebody out there listening, or somebody's got a relative or a loved one that gets popped doing something illegal from here on? What do they do? They're going to get arrested anyway.
Yeah, you keep your mouth shut and give us a call.
Is that a big problem?
Oh, huge problem. I was fussing at 2 of them yesterday. They wanted to sit in there and ask me, they're in jail and we were in court, and, you know, get me out, get me out, get me out. And, you know, you talk too much.
To who?
To the wrong side. Yeah. They basically make the case for them. And a lot of times that a criminal defendant sees a situation very differently than law enforcement. And it's not a matter of whether he committed a crime or not. It's just the way he sees things. And law enforcement asks very pointed questions. And
try to get them convinced.
Not necessarily getting. Yeah, they're looking for an answer. They're looking for an answer. You know, a lot of times law enforcement's going to, already convinced that you had something to do with it. And you may be trying to defend yourself and saying, I didn't know anything that was going on. I was there, I was at the party, but I didn't know somebody was stealing. Okay, now I got you.
I got you there.
Now, yeah. You admitted to being there. I don't believe that you didn't have anything to do with it. Hands behind your back. Here we go.
Speaking of a state trooper buddy of ours who's told me stories before, he said, when I stop people, talking about our good buddy Mike Kessler, we can't mention him on TV. Can't show him, but we can mention him. He says that when he stops people for what he suspects is drug, they will basically tell on themselves.
I've been told that he is one that will come to the window, and he's sort of imposing anyways, but for for a speeding ticket and just stand there, it won't say anything, and then the driver starts talking, and they basically talk themselves into a DUI or a ticket or some sort.
He said you would be so shocked to know how many times I walk up to the door and they'll have like a marijuana cigarette behind their ears.
That's called
still.
a joint.
Well, I was being more proper, like he said, and he would never do good in court.
Yeah, I've had more than one defendant tell me that Kessler's bad about just coming and just standing there at the window.
And here's a trick question.
And they just confess.
Here's a trick question. It'll be like, do you have any drugs in the vehicle? Oh, no, I don't do drugs. I didn't ask if you did drugs. I asked if you had any drugs in the vehicle.
So they know how to trick,
Or ask the...
not trick,
Not
but
trick.
ask them the proper question to get them to say something about it.
Yeah, it's they're trained.
Let you hang yourself.
Yeah, they're trained to
How
ask
do you
questions.
as a defense attorney representing some of these outstanding citizens, how do you overcome that?
We look for loopholes. Is the easy way to say it. There is a progression that has to happen before a confession or an admission can be used against you. And what we hope for is that the officer didn't do something or failed to do something, failed to advise you of something. And every once in a while we'll find that. Most of the time they do a pretty good job, but if they're talking to you, if they're asking you something, there's a reason and there's an answer they're looking for. Just keep your mouth shut. Most of them will tell you, you don't have to talk to me, exercise that right, and move on.
Now, in this time of year, do you have any, a lot of people get together with family this time of year. Alcohol sometimes can be a deterrent for some of these get-togethers. Some people can get arrested. Is that the type of people that you celebrate the holidays
Learn to
with?
control your tongue. Gosh.
Well, this is Alabama, right? I mean, you're going to fall in one of two categories: either an Alabama fan or an Auburn fan, and a lot of families intermarry and whatnot. I was lucky; I married an Alabama fan, so we don't really deal with it. But I hear those families that are split, and then the alcohol gets involved, and then they start talking about the Iron Bowl and fights break out, domestic violences, and all this other stuff. It's just a family.
You mean they bring it up at
You got the two brothers or the two uncles fighting?
You know how we do. We're never.
Well, I ain't forgot last year's loss yet.
Yeah, I'm still hearing about having 1 second.
Butt just for the sake of that, huh?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. How many times did we have to watch the replay of the?
He didn't like. I was so happy, though. I have to say, I was so happy. We had no ESPN in the house for a month.
I couldn't watch it. I literally. I'm that big of a Bama fan.
Yeah.
I mean, when that happened, when they beat us on that, I did not ban ES. I said, I cannot watch that play for the.
It was a nice
again.
month off.
And then you have the turn of the year, and they start replaying the greatest plays from the year, and you know what was number one.
Well, it was a great play. You got to. I mean, it was a fantastic play.
Hope to never see anything like it again.
Unfortunately, it went against us, but that's kind of the way it goes. So anyway, what else we need to know about Dan C. Totten Law Firm on Jefferson Street?
Give us a call. I don't know how much time I have left here, but Dan and I were talking about it yesterday. At the end of the year, we began to evaluate our practice and all this, and then doing the website with Jerry, and then coming on here. It's really changed our focus as to what we actually do. We are a criminal defense firm. That's what we want to do. But that often spins off into some other areas. I think Dan's wanting to talk about it more next week. Yeah.
Y'all are getting into divorce?
Yeah, he's always been, Dan has always been.
I know he's always done
it's just been a very small practice. Like I said, I just want to sort of set the stage. I think he wants to speak more about it next week.
So y'all are expanding?
I guess you can say that. We do everything. We are general practice attorneys. We're in a small town. You have to do a little bit of
More
everything.
than just one.
Come and consult with us on any legal issue. If it's something that we don't do or don't do well, we will definitely get you where you
So next year we'll be talking about a whole lot of different things.
Hopefully.
All right.
And the first of the year is when they say divorce is on the rise. After the holidays,
I
everybody's
hear it.
done
Or
spending.
maybe after this shelter rate, it's going. But anyway, thank you, Lucas. Merry Christmas, Roll Tide. See you next week. And get Dan up here, too. Lucas Beaty, Criminal Defense, Jefferson Street.